So, with Rugby World Cup 2019 upon us, I've assembled a couple of men who know a little bit about operating under pressure. Jonny Wilkinson, the man who not only kicked the winning drop goal in Rugby World Cup 2003, but also kicked the winning drop goal in 1997 in Narberth for Wales schools against England schools. Talk about that in a minute, because that's real pressure. And I've also got Jason Fox. Don't tell anyone, but he was in the Special Forces. But now he's more famous for the show SAS Who Dares Wins, among other things, and doing lots of expeditions and being hard as nails. Jonny, tell us, when you were 18 and I was 17, so I'm a lot younger than you, and you kicked that drop goal, did you feel pressure, managed to deliver, or was it all still just fun?
I've got a really different relationship with pressure now than I had. And in fact, I've had a varying relationship with it throughout my life. Because I sort of suffered from mental health issues from a young kid all the way through. My whole life, if you like, has been about that journey.
Foxy, you ended up getting pretty serious. At what point did it go from fun to serious and pressurised?
The world changed a considerable amount in 2001, and next thing you know, I find myself going to war. But I still hadn't really grasped pressure by that stage. I was still quite young as far as I was concerned. I was 25, 26. You train and train and train, and you actually are quite confident in your ability to do what you're supposed to be doing. And you've got to have that flexible mindset to just roll with the punches. And for me, dealing with the pressure was essentially living in the moment and not overthinking things.
Jonny, did you find like you were well known for training very hard and preparing very meticulously? Did you find that relieved pressure for you because you felt as prepared as you could possibly be, and perhaps maybe I'm more prepared than anyone else on this field, so pressure dilutes a bit?
I trained so hard, as it was my only power I felt I had was preparation, because I was kind of trying to be a perfectionist. That was the secret to all my fears and all my desires, and everything either not happening to me that I didn't want to, and everything happening that I did was basically on this: could I maintain this a reputation that kind of warranted me in having the life I wanted, which, funnily enough, I wasn't living.
All pressure is self-induced.
Yeah,
I think.
100%.
Everyone's like, what was the hardest thing on selection? I'm out of my head. I'm over-critiquing myself, or I'm thinking about the last, ticking off I got, and I'm wondering whether, am I going to pass this course? And it's all about the pressure. It's all about how you deal with that and how you bounce back from setbacks.
Did you reach a point where you think, I'm now feeling pressure, I'm really nervous, hang on a minute, I'm torturing myself here?
I remember being in a ditch we were getting shot at, and I was like,
mate. Go on.
I'm just giving an example, and there was a lot of responsibility on me. I think I was the TL at the time, so I'm the team leader, and I remember thinking I was petrified. For a split second, I wanted to be a 10-year-old kid again, back home with my mum. It was just I suppose it was the pressure getting to me at that moment in time, but I think I had to have a sort of I gave myself that proverbial slap round the face where it was like, hang on a minute, I've earned my right to be in this position. I've got, I know what I'm doing. I don't need to let this situation run away with itself.
Just in the change room before you're about to go out, you see all these massive guys who are so pumped up. They've done 500 games already. They're huge, and they're beating their chest and walking around like they're scared stiff. And as soon as the whistle goes, everyone goes, "Oh, I'm fine."
Yep.
And it's like, well, yeah, because the version of you that's
my career you just described.
But the thing is when the whistle goes, that you that's on the field is living in his moment.
Yeah.
Whereas you in the change room are trying to live in your future used moment, so you're going to feel horrible.
Yeah.
The same way when you try and live in your past used moment, you feel regret, whatever.
Yeah.
So if you'd, like you said, just let your future you have all his ability, rather than taking it away from him by being like, I'll try and prepare you. It's like, leave him alone.
Jonny, did you enjoy leading, for one? But are there certain leaders that stick out for you? Why do they?
I never ever sort of saw myself as a leader. I think I was maybe in the early days like a leader that was kind of like, this brick wall won't come down, watch me run harder into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll lead you guys into the hospital behind me. In a way, instead of actually being like, look, my openness is just going to hopefully lead, or at least create an environment where everyone feels that they have the space to be all they can be, rather than be who I tell them they need to be, which is what I was like when I was young. I was terrible, you know. I'd be, you know, under my breath being like, he's not professional enough, he's no good, doesn't work hard enough, like you said. In the change room after the game, if someone's doing the tie-up being like, oh, where are we going tonight, boys? I'd be like, we just lost the game, you're a disgrace. Whereas actually, deep down, I wanted to be him.
Yeah.
It's like, why do I have to sit here and mope? He's leading, do you know what I mean? He's leading the change, which is like, the game's a game.
Phil Green is a good bloke.
He wouldn't have been wearing a tie.
He wore a tie, round his head, yeah. I remember, you know, it being in a change room with Martin Johnson, and you've been in a change room with him 80 times or something, Jonny, but I remember him walking over and I was on the bench, and I was a young kid, I was 20 years old or 21 years old at Twickenham, you know, and he said, you all right, mate? About 20 minutes, you all right, mate? I said, oh yeah, fine, a bit nervous. He goes, yeah, we're all bricking it, don't worry.
Yeah.
He goes, so are they. And it was literally the best piece of leadership I think I ever received, and he knew exactly what to do.
The World Cup final, I remember that spiel that he gave was always when the teams were lined up alongside each other, so they could also hear what he said a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it was always like, and this time he got to the front of the doors, and we had the Aussies next to us, just about to go out. And he had a ball in his hand, which looks like a mini little
cricket ball. Yeah.
He's got it in his hand, and he turns around. He's kind of like he's about to speak, and just sort of goes, and I'm like, here it comes. And he just goes, turns around, just runs out. And you're just like, the sign to me was like, it's all done.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a bloke.
Controlled energy.
Yeah, what a bloke. And I remember
absolutely,
after that autumn campaign, I remember doing like an interview on the telly or something. And I was this young kid that was in the squad and no one else was available to interview, so I'll do it. And they said, what was it like? What was it like playing Martin Johnson? I said, it was brilliant. He's really actually a real, you know, he's a gentle man and he's rough on the pitch, but he's very, you know, he's got a softer side. Whatever I said. 3 weeks later, played at Welford Road. And it was like kicking off in the scrums of it, and I was struggling a bit because they were horrible. Julian White said to me, if he does that again, whack him. I said, yeah, definitely, thinking, I hope he doesn't do it again. Because I don't want to whack anyone, because out of those 15, 16 of them could fill me in at this point. And I stood up from this scrum and went to, it happened again, whatever had happened, it was a bit illegal. I stood up, I remember Jono, he punched me so hard in the forehead. Remember how he used to tape up his knuckles? And I was like, yeah, there's the soft side.